Alright, I'm gonna try narrating this battle a little bit today with my super shitty camera, just because I want to see how this goes. Alright, so we're starting out with the Clefable and the Slowking on my end, and a Toxapex and an Aegis Slash on the enemy team. Now I gave Clefable Spotlight here as like a further means of redirection here, so I Spotlight over to Slowking to try and get the Aegis Slash and the Toxapex off of Clefable, which works pretty well. We have the Aegis Slash attacking first, and then the Toxapex using a Poison Jab, which is pretty predictable here. But Slowking gets poisoned, which is a little bit less than ideal. Now Slowking is using Flamethrower and Aegis Slash, which is a super effective hit and nearly kills them. But unfortunately, he has leftovers. Well, this is still a dangerous matchup because Slowking and Clefable are pretty weak to Toxapex and Aegis Slash here. I'm gonna use Clefable to protect here because we'll probably see a Poison Jab on the Clefable. Oh, but now we've got Shield Form. Aegis Slash is using King Shield to protect itself. And Toxapex is going to use the Poison Jab on that Clefable. Clefable is going to defend it with the Protect, but Aegis Slash is also blocking that Flamethrower and healing from the leftovers. And Slowking takes damage from poison. That's not looking good so far for Slowking there. But Slowking is going to protect now. And Clefable is going to try and get that Moonblast off an Aegis Slash. But it is not enough to defeat it. Clefable is just not offensive enough here. Comes the stance change from the Aegis Slash. Going to use Shadow Ball on the Slowking. Predicted that with the Protect. The Poison Jab does land on the Clefable though. And more recovery from Aegis Slash. Slowking is dwindling down here. Alright, Slowking has returned. And we're sending out Pyukumuku. How is the enemy team going to respond? With King Shield. Again, furthering the recovery of Aegis Slash this turn. And he blocks the Moonblast from Clefable, totally reading the hit. And another Poison Jab onto Clefable. This is not looking good. Poisoned. Luckily this is a Magic Guard Clefable, so that poison isn't too worrisome. Clefable's going to use Protect here. Oh, and there's a Flash Cannon onto the protected Clefable. And a Toxic on a Pyukumuku. They're really showing their offense here. We've already got 2 poison targets with Slowking and Pyukumuku. Oh, we messed up here trying to Toxic an Aegis Slash. He's immune because of his steel typing. Alright, now Clefable's going to use Spotlight to put all the damage onto Pyukumuku. And the Aegis Slash is going to Flash Cannon Pyukumuku, which is saving Clefable without having to use Protect. From both the super effective hits of Poison Jab and from Aegis Slash. Oh, but the Soak from Pyukumuku is turning Aegis Slash into a pure water type. This is going to remove his super effective damage taken from Slowking's Flamethrower though. But does allow him to be poisoned. And Pyukumuku gets healed from the leftovers and damage from the Toxic. And we're going to switch Pyukumuku out without poisoning Aegis Slash. And sending Slowking out with more health from his Regenerator ability, while covering for protection from Clefable. Oh, but they read the switch and Shadow Balled Slowking. It was super effective. Clefable is protected from the Poison Jab on Toxapex. Aegis Slash has recovered a decent amount of life at this point, and Slowking is still dwindling down from that poison. Alright, at this point Clefable is going to use Follow Me, so that Clefable becomes the center of attention in order to save Slowking from dying. It takes the Shadow Ball hit pretty well, and this is where it recovers from its berry, the Ipapa berry. That is quite a lot of health from that Ipapa berry. And then take the Poison Jab after that. And Slowking is going to restore its HP with Slack Off. Alright, Aegislash is recovering, and let's see what happens next. Because it's really not looking good for Slowking and Clefable here. Clefable's going to lead off with a Moonblast this time, onto the Toxapex. Here comes a Flash Cannon onto Clefable, this is not good. 11 HP remaining on the Clefable, and that's super effective hit. And a Poison Jab onto the Slowking. Clefable barely manages not to die here. An Ice Beam onto the Toxapex, but it's not very effective. Aegislash is just recovering more and more life. Aegislash can protect with King Shields at any time, so attacking him is quite the gamble, as you could waste your turn. Alright, we're going to return Clefable here, and send out Pyukumuku, who's poisoned with Toxic. We're really struggling with these first two Pokemon, and Slowking is going to take another Shadow Ball to the face. But he's going to use his berry and heal up with the Mago Berry. And then Pyukumuku switch right into that liquidation, taking almost no damage. And Slowking's going to heal up with that Slack Off. And then Aegislash is recovering, he's back into green HP. The poison is really doing a number on Pyukumuku and Slowking. Toxapex is now withdrawn, and he sent out Salamence. This could be bad. And Intimidate on Pyukumuku and Slowking is not very effective, as neither of these Pokemon use their attack stat. I've got a Shadow Ball into the Slowking. The Slowking was prepared and used Ice Beam on Salamence. Oh, but it wasn't a one-hit KO. And Pyukumuku is finally using Toxic on the Aegislash, who was soaked earlier. So without Soak, you could not Toxic this Aegislash. Toxic will at least counter the leftovers here, similar to how Pyukumuku's leftovers are countered by his Toxic. But Toxic increases so often that it's going to not only counter it, but outdo the damage that is being reverted by the leftovers. Alright, Salamence is Mega Evolving here into Mega Salamence. He is almost defeated though. This might be our chance to get the first KO of the game. Oh, Draco Meter on the Slowking, and no Protect from Slowking. Oh, but he lived it, just barely though. Oh, and then the Shadow Ball from Aegislash. This is going to be the end of Slowking. And that's the first KO of this match. On turn 12, 12 turns to take on the first KO here. But a Toxic onto the Salamence from the Pyukumuku. This will surely defeat Salamence as well with that Toxic damage. Well, it's not looking good for our team, where at least we have gone 1-1 here, and there are still 3 Pokemon remaining on both sides. Though it's not looking good because Clefable only has 11 HP left, and Pyukumuku is badly poisoned. And Toxapex makes his return, full health from his Regenerator ability. Alright, Clefable's going to protect this turn. but Aegislash saw through the Protect and Shadow Balled Pyukumuku. Though the Poison Jab was negated, Pyukumuku is actually going to Soak here, which is going to remove the poison typing from Toxapex. This is going to allow us to Toxic him as well in the next turn, but will he be able to read that, or is he going to just stick it out and take that Toxic? Or maybe he hopes to defeat Pyukumuku before that happens. Aegislash is really dwindling down from that Toxic. Oh, but Pyukumuku's at 5 HP remaining, and Clefable's at 11. This is not looking good. Alright, we've got a King's Shield from Aegislash. What he's defending from, I have no idea. But Clefable's going to use Follow Me to sacrifice herself in order to save the Pyukumuku. Taking that Poison Jab right to the face is a clear KO for Clefable. However, with no one left to move, Pyukumuku is going to Toxic the Toxapex. We have a double Toxic on 2 Pokemon that normally cannot be poisoned. And this is all thanks to Pyukumuku's ability Soak. Pyukumuku is going to heal with the leftovers, but that Toxic is so high now that there's no way he could possibly live at this point. Oh, and Aegislash is still surviving, even with his Toxic. And alas, Pyukumuku goes down. We're now at a 3 versus 1. The opponent still has 3 Pokemon, Toxapex, Aegislash, and 1 other. Well, we've only got Azumarill, who's at full HP at this point. Azumarill is weak to both the Aegislash and Toxapex super effective moves, but Azumarill delays this turn by protecting. It's a good protect on Azumarill's part. But is there any chance Azumarill has of winning this battle? It's 3 versus 1 after all. Oh, but the Toxic takes down Aegislash. That protect just defeated an entire enemy, thanks to Pyukumuku's support. Pyukumuku's support was only possible thanks to Clefable's support. Oh, but now we have a Pelipper with his Drizzle. This is going to be both good and bad. Pelipper's attacks are going to be increased by the drizzle, by the rain from the drizzle, but Azumarill's Aqua Jet is also increased in strength here. Oh, but it's not very effective. And a C move. We have our first C move of the battle on Pelipper. It's going to be Hydro Vortex. Though thankfully, Hydro Vortex is not going to be very effective onto Azumarill. Let's see how much damage it really does. Ah, nearly half of his life was taken out on a non-effective hit. And then we've got the super effective Poison Jab coming in. Azumarill's at 57 life. Toxapex is going to take some of that Toxic damage. With Pelipper out, Toxapex also cannot switch out. We're going to protect here. Protect against the Scald and delay the turn longer in order to get more damage onto that Toxapex through that Toxic. Oh, but Toxapex had a Healing Berry, a Citrus. Alright, and we've got the Scald from the Pelipper. We just need to avoid a burn here. Oh, and 13 HP, barely living here. And then time for the Z move for on Azumarill, but this is not a Water Z move. This is Normalium C, restored its HP using a Z power. This is the power of Z Belly Drum, where Azumarill goes to full life and then Belly Drums back down to half HP. This is effectively a huge heal for Azumarill as well as a +6 to his attack. Oh, but Toxapex made a mistake and went with the Liquidation, and is hurt by the Toxic. Now with Azumarill using Seed Belly Drum, he's free to use Protect again this turn, in order to increase the Toxic damage for another turn. And with their Z move use, they can't damage through the Protect. And Toxapex is down. Azumarill has outlived 2 Pokemon all by himself, thanks to Pyukumuku's Toxic. Oh, and we're back down in the red zone with Azumarill has 30 HP left. but this turn he uses Play Rough, and that is a KO onto the Pelipper. And there we have it. Pyukumuku helped Azumarill win the battle. We had Slowking slowly take out the Salamence. Clefable supported Pyukumuku, allowing it to get that Soak Toxic onto both Toxapex and Aegislash, though there were a lot of mistakes on her end. It was good that we didn't poison that Toxapex too early, as the switch into Salamence would have negated that entire Soak and Toxic, removing 2 of Pyukumuku's turns. Aegislash never swapped out, so Toxicing him earlier would have probably been a better choice. Though this is the power of the support of Pyukumuku, Clefable, and the Z-Belly Drum. It was a very interesting battle, and it honestly didn't look like I would win. But we managed to pull through somehow. That's all I really wanted to show you, so thanks for watching.